Well, Brian is definitely what I envision as someone who's everything that the Spirit of Rotary Award is about. The Spirit of Rotary Award is about young people who are doing things that embody Rotary's four-way test. Brian does that every single day of his life as I see him at Dow Corning. He's had an incredible 15-year career that's been marked with just by progressively more challenging assignments at Dow Corning. So he's been a visionary throughout his career at Dow Corning, and more importantly, based on what I've seen of him outside of Dow Corning, he's committed to the community. He's very involved in his local church. I know that he's very involved in community endeavors, such as Young Leaders with United Way. And then he just recently contacted me to join the Big Give.
Well, Brian, when I think of Brian, he really epitomizes service above self. There really isn't anything that he would ask other young leaders to do that he wouldn't do. I mean, he leads by example. He truly does. I think he understands better than anyone that when you give to others, you give to yourself. So he's the first one to ask others to get engaged in the community and with United Way.
I think one of the things that impressed me most with Brian's involvement with the United Way, not only was he very influential and did a lot to persuade and show others his age how important giving back to the community is, but he really wanted to make it personal. And he wanted his peers to actually be involved with the agencies that are being served by United Way. So working with the United Way, he was very clever in organizing bus tours. So he took his young leaders, his peers, to actually see the work at the agencies and organized bus tours so that they could really see one-on-one, and made it very, very personal for all of them, the work of the United Way, which I just thought was a brilliant, brilliant stroke from Brian.
One of the things that Brian first shared with me is he wanted to give every young leader the opportunity to share their talents, which I think is just awesome because he's always creating those opportunities and he's looking for ways to engage people, which really speaks to how he leads by example.
I know Brian through our work together on the finance council of our parish, Blessed Sacrament, and he joined the council probably about 4 years ago. And very shortly after he joined, we were talking, as a finance council usually does, about issues with financing the parish and collections and things like that. And he asked if we had any historical data. Was there something we could look at? And the business manager said, well, yeah, I think we can get something. So Brian jumped in, took the data that he could look at, did a bunch of analysis with it, and looked not only at revenue, then he decided, well, let's look at expenses. He was able to dig into years of data and then do some simulations going forward, do stuff with the data that no one had thought of doing. And he was very new on the council at the time and gave us a lot of information to work with to help us in our planning. And so it was the initiative that he took and then the leadership that he took. Because we took that data and then decided, well, there's more things we can do with it, and ended up having a joint council, a joint task force between the finance council and our pastoral council. And Brian took the leadership of that. He decided, he was able to run that. We did a lot of financial work with that, but more than financial work. It broadened out into other areas. And the work that he led us through has become the foundation for our strategic plan for the parish. So, I mean, starting from a simple question of, do you have any data I can work with? He came up with an awful lot of very good work for all of us.
It doesn't surprise me. When Brian jumps into a project, he jumps in head first, and that can be anything from painting the deck to, as you say, asking a couple of questions on an administration commission at church. Once he's involved in something, he doesn't finish it until he feels like he's made an impact. And so it doesn't surprise me to hear that that's how he contributed, but I think that that's pretty consistent with the passion that he brings to everything that he does. And for me, I think it's a fantastic role model for our children and a fantastic, I think, way to emulate how we should all be contributing to our community and frankly not resting until we feel like we've done as much as we can with the resources that we have.
Well, I hope his mom and dad are in the audience, because certainly I think it was the way he was raised. I think his parents are great people, and I think he saw them do it, but he also had a lot of role models who also he witnessed do it. So I think he recognizes that he's got that same obligation of those that came before him to really help others and to give back, as he's doing so admirably right now.
One of the things that I did when I found out Brian was to be a recipient of the award was I asked others in our office at United Way and his peers, you know, what are some terms that you would use to describe Brian? And some common descriptors were he's genuine, he's a visionary, he leads with integrity, and he's committed and collaborative.
Brian is brutally honest, which I think is a fantastic quality, especially in a volunteer, because he'll step into an organization and he'll look at something from a fresh perspective, and he won't be afraid to identify the things in an organization that he thinks need to change, or quickly be able to point out where he thinks he can make an impact, and I think that's a fantastic quality. Again, just to reiterate, he does not do anything halfway. He has two gears, asleep and full speed ahead. And so if he's going to devote any time or attention to a cause or to an organization, they're going to have to beat him off with a stick, because he won't go away until he feels like the job's been done and done well. So I think those are two fantastic qualities that he brings, you know, to any organization that he helps. But also I think he has a really clear and strong sense of what he feels like is right and wrong, and he's very obligated personally to do the right thing.
When I think of Brian, I just think of his service heart. I think of, he's a man of few words. I mean, he's not the most talkative individual. He's very insightful, but when you get past the silence, you just see the heart, and it's the actions of Brian that impress you most, not the words, what he's doing.
I'm so happy for him receiving this award, because I think he truly deserves it.
Like I said, the fact that he never, ever stops moving, and his constant passion for being better, for delivering more, for always trying to contribute and be better than the person he was yesterday. That makes me smile. It makes me proud to say that I'm his wife. It makes me proud to say that he's the father of our children. That's what makes me smile.
Lacey brings so much value to the community, particularly to our young people. So her ability to work with middle school and high school kids and to work with them on a very real level. She doesn't provide services to kids. She builds relationships with them. She does a fantastic job of helping these kids maneuver the waters, the challenges that they face in this age group, and then helping them grow into adults. And I don't know what could be more valuable to a community than someone who can help mold the next generation of leaders, of community members, of the people that will be running the world here in just a few years.
Something really unique about Lacey is the energy and excitement that she brings to any situation. So being able to get kids really excited about something, or to inspire someone to make something happen, I think that is a big strength of hers that she brings to the Rock as a whole.
Early on, when I met Lacey, was probably my first interaction, I think, was one of the summer pool parties. The Legacy Center partners with the Rock for pool parties every summer. We hold 3 of them, high school, middle school kind of pool parties and things. And I'd never met Lacey before. And it was really kind of fun to watch her go around and interact with the kids. She'd go around the pool and she'd talk to all the kids and things. She'd see some kids maybe hanging out in the corner, and she'd somehow get over there and talk to them, and they'd kind of move back in to be part of the rest of the group. So nobody felt left out and things. So that was my first experience with Lacey. And then shortly after that, she just jumped in the pool. And, here I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, the adults aren't supposed to be in the pool. I'm like, Lacey's somewhere in between. And she's a lot of fun, and that's why she gets along with them so well. But that was kind of my first interaction, I think, was one of our pool parties.
Does Lacey make you smile?
Yeah.
Why? Well, she's really good natured and has a good heart, and she's super funny. And yeah, I call her Crazy Lacey. Like in a good way, not in a bad way.
Lacey has a very unique personality and perspective that I think sets her apart from other folks. She truly, truly cares about people in every way. She truly wants to do the best. She wants to be a person of integrity, and you can see it in everything she does.
You know, when the call went out for Spirit of Rotary, I started to really think about who I knew. First of all, I don't know that many people below 40, but you know, part of it was who do I see really making a difference? And it's people I interact with. And there's a lot of great people in that age range in our community. But to me, Lacey's just a little bit different because she's not a business professional per se, but she is making a difference every single day with the youth in our community. So she kind of breaks the mold a little bit. And I think that's great. We need to branch out a little bit and start bringing in some additional people into this and maybe looking at things a little bit differently. So I think she sums that up perfectly.
Lacey's like the Pied Piper of teenagers. So when Lacey comes along, kids just follow her. And it's kind of neat how she has that, the kids are just so attracted to her and to her energy. She has such positive energy, and she believes so deeply and sincerely in these kids that for the most part, her presence seems to get people involved, particularly the young people.
I've been to the lock-in, the guys' night, so we didn't see her much there because it was guys' night, but we saw her in the beginning and in the end, and where she just went over the rules, and she wasn't like rude about it or anything. She's just really a good person. She's kind and responsible, I guess you could say. Knows what to do with the kids, but she's still fun. Like as she said, we call her Crazy Lacey and stuff. So
I think she goes out of her way often to work with youth in a genuine way. You know, it's not just her job; it's her life, and I see that even in her, you know, her personal life with nieces and nephews, and you know, different kids in her life. That's something that's really important to her throughout, not just, you know, for her job.
So I've watched Lacey over the years go so far above and beyond with the kids, and it's in every circumstances. So it's day to day, but it's also when the day just doesn't go as you'd like the day to go. So on her own time, I've seen her grab a couple other staff members and drive downstate to the hospital to visit a young person that's in our programs who was undergoing surgery and had some serious issues, and to take him gifts and joy and food and laugh and play cards with him in the hospital. And that is not in anyone's job description. And that's an expectation that I couldn't even place on somebody. And then to watch her with another young person who had recently attempted to end their own life. And to be able to sit there and watch Lacey tell them with all sincerity and as honestly and intently as you can that you have value, you have a reason to live. People love you. People care about you. You know, you always have her, Lacey, the other people here. You always have the rock. But to be able to tell someone the truth that their life matters, I think about probably one of the biggest things that you can do in this world.
Well, Lacey's a mentor to me, and she really adds some pep into my day, I guess you could say. So that's really good, I guess.
My personal experience at The Rock and working with Lacey, she's been a good friend and mentor, learning about working with youth and getting to see kind of her shine as we've grown in the last couple of years has been really cool.
When I think of Lacey, what makes me smile is I picture her as the Green Witch, the Wicked Witch from The Wizard of Oz, the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland, a zombie, anything you can possibly imagine in character for the kids. Her creativity, fact that she's down the hall from me and I can hear her laugh at any given time, no matter what's going on.
Lacey makes me feel real positive about the future because, as you know, I've mentioned that she works with kids that are in many different places. When you're working with middle school kids, we all know what kind of things they deal with today are so very different than we used to. And so I'm encouraged when she works one-on-one with kids to bring them back into the loop, to make them feel better about themselves. You know, she runs the GEM program here at the Rock, and that's just to really build the self-esteem in girls. So I see it one-on-one and I see it in groups, and she's just having a tremendous impact on the youth in this community.